The arena went completely silent. Not the kind of silence where you're waiting for something to happen, but the kind where reality hits so hard that 15,000 people collectively forget how to breathe. Adam Pearce stood in that ring, microphone trembling in his hand. And what he said about Paul Heyman didn't just break the fourth wall, it shattered every single emotion we thought we had control over. If you think you know what happened, you don't, because what Pearce revealed about Paul Heyman's current situation is so devastating, so impossibly heartbreaking, that grown men in the audience were wiping tears from their faces, and social media exploded with reactions that prove wrestling isn't just entertainment anymore, it's family. Let me set the stage for you, because context matters here. Raw opened like any other episode, pyro blasting, crowd electric, ready for the usual chaos and drama. Nobody expected what was coming. Adam Pearce, WWE's authority figure who usually deals with contract signings and match announcements, walked out with a look on his face that immediately told us something was catastrophically wrong. No music, no fanfare, just a man carrying the weight of news that nobody wanted to deliver. The crowd sensed it immediately. The cheers died down to confused murmurs. Pearce entered the ring, and you could see it in his eyes. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to say what he was about to say. But sometimes in this business, in this life, you don't get to choose the moments that define you. You just have to live through them. "I need to talk to you about Paul Heyman," Pearce began, and the arena somehow got even quieter. Paul Heyman, the wise man, the special counsel to Roman Reigns, the man whose voice has narrated some of WWE's most iconic moments for decades. Just hearing his name in that context, with that tone, sent chills through everyone watching. Pearce continued, and what came next wasn't a storyline. This wasn't kayfabe. This was Adam Pearce, the human being, talking about Paul Heyman, the human being, and the medical crisis that has kept him away from WWE television. The words hit like sledgehammers: health complications, serious concerns, uncertainty about if and when Heyman would return. Each sentence landed heavier than the last. Here's my first question for you. What's your favorite Paul Heyman moment in wrestling history? Drop it in the comments, because right now we need to celebrate the man while we're sending him strength. The camera caught fans in the front row, hands over their mouths, eyes glistening. This wasn't the reaction to a heel turn or a shocking return. This was genuine human grief and concern, pouring out from people who've spent years, decades in some cases, watching Paul Heyman be an irreplaceable part of their wrestling experience. Whether you loved him or hated him, whether you cheered his clients or booed them relentlessly, everyone respected what Heyman brought to this business. Pearce's voice cracked, actually cracked. This seasoned professional, this man who's been in wrestling long enough to handle any situation, couldn't keep his composure. "Paul Heyman isn't just a colleague," Pearce said, struggling through every word. "He's a mentor. He's a friend. He's someone who's given everything to this industry, and right now he needs us to give something back to him." The WWE Universe responded exactly how you'd expect family to respond. Chants of "Thank you, Heyman" echoed through the arena. Not the playful chants we usually hear, but something deeper, more profound, more real. These were fans acknowledging that the man behind the character, the architect behind countless legendary moments, was facing something no amount of scripted victories could overcome. Social media immediately erupted, but not with the typical hot takes and arguments. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere you looked, wrestlers past and present were sharing Heyman stories, memories of his generosity, his mentorship, his unmatched ability to see talent in people before they saw it in themselves. CM Punk posted a lengthy tribute. Brock Lesnar, notoriously private, shared a rare personal message. Even wrestlers from other promotions put aside company loyalty to honor Heyman's impact on the entire industry. What made Pearce's speech so devastating wasn't just what he said, but how he said it. There was no corporate polish, no carefully scripted sympathy. This was raw, unfiltered emotion from someone watching a friend suffer. Pierce talked about Heyman's passion, how even when his body was clearly struggling, Heyman would push himself to deliver promos that elevated everyone around him. He talked about Heyman arriving early to shows, staying late, mentoring younger talent, always putting the business first, even when he should have been putting himself first. Paul taught me that in this business, your word is everything, Pierce continued, tears now visible on his face. He taught me that loyalty matters. He taught me that the story we tell isn't just about entertaining people, it's about connecting with them, making them feel something real. And right now, what I'm feeling is scared. I'm scared that we might not get to hear that voice again. I'm scared that the wise man might have given his wisdom one last time. The arena was a sea of phone lights, the modern equivalent of holding up lighters, a tribute to someone who might not be able to receive it in person. Parents were hugging their children, strangers were consoling each other. This transcended wrestling fandom and became a moment of collective human empathy. Quick question for the comments. If you could send one message to Paul Heyman right now, what would it be? Let's flood this comment section with positivity and support. What's particularly gutting about this situation is the timing. Heyman was in the middle of the most critically acclaimed run of his entire career. His work with Roman Reigns, the Bloodline saga, the intricate storytelling, the nuanced character development, all of it represented Heyman at his absolute peak, and then his health betrayed him. Wrestling fans, we're used to scripted drama. We're conditioned to expect swerves and surprises, but there's no swerve here. There's no surprise twist that makes everything okay. This is reality crashing into our escape from reality, and it's brutal. Adam Pearce's words forced us to confront something we don't want to think about. Our heroes are mortal. The voices we've relied on for comfort and excitement can be silenced by circumstances beyond anyone's control. Pearce didn't just talk about Heyman's professional contributions, he got personal in ways that WWE television rarely allows. He talked about Heyman checking on him during difficult personal times. He talked about phone calls at midnight when Pearce was doubting himself, and Heyman would talk him through it with the same passion he brings to a promo. He talked about Heyman's family, his children, the people behind the persona who are going through unimaginable stress right now. The Heyman family has asked for privacy, Pearce said, but they also want the WWE Universe to know how much your support means. Every message, every prayer, every positive thought, they feel it. Paul feels it, and it's giving him strength to fight whatever battle he's facing. The vulnerability in that statement hit differently. We're so accustomed to WWE presenting strength and invincibility that hearing about someone needing strength from us, from the fans, it reframes the entire relationship between performer and audience. We're not just consumers of content, we're part of a community that takes care of its own. Here's what really amplified the emotional impact: the video packages WWE produced. They aired a tribute highlighting Heyman's career, but not the typical greatest hits compilation. This showed Heyman with young wrestlers, teaching them psychology. Heyman at charity events that cameras weren't supposed to be at. Heyman visiting sick children in hospitals, bringing them signed memorabilia, spending hours when he could have spent minutes. They showed us the Paul Heyman that the public doesn't usually see, and it was devastating in the most beautiful way. Veteran announcer Michael Cole broke down on commentary. You could hear it in his voice, the genuine anguish of someone who's worked alongside Heyman for years. Paul Heyman is irreplaceable, Cole said, voice thick with emotion. There will never be another voice like his. There will never be another mind like his, and we're all praying that this isn't the end of his story. What would wrestling even look like without Paul Heyman? It's a question nobody wants to answer, but everyone's thinking about. How many careers did he launch? How many moments did he elevate from good to legendary purely through the power of his words? How many wrestlers credit Heyman with teaching them how to connect with audiences on a deeper level? Drop your answer in the comments. Which current WWE superstar needs Paul Heyman's guidance most right now? Who should he mentor when he's healthy enough to return?
The reactions from current superstars have been equally heartbreaking. Roman Reigns, notably private about personal matters, posted a photo with Heyman with a caption that simply read, "My wise man, my friend, my family." The Usos shared similar sentiments. Even wrestlers who never worked directly with Heyman expressed gratitude for how his work has influenced their careers. But here's where the frustration sets in, and I know many of you are feeling this too. Why did it take a health crisis for WWE to properly honor Paul Heyman's contributions? Why does this industry wait until someone is potentially on their way out before showing them the flowers they deserve? Heyman been grinding in this business for 30 years, creating value for every company he's touched, and only now are we collectively acknowledging his irreplaceable nature. This isn't just about Heyman, this is about how wrestling treats its veterans, its legends, its behind-the-scenes architects who make everything work. We celebrate in-ring performance, and rightfully so, but people like Heyman who craft the